Welcome to this convoluted Christmas episode of Mesa Morning.
This is unbelievable.
And just so you, in case you're worried, I cleared this with Glenn from Cox. The filters on the camera can't handle this much sexiness. And this much testosterone congested in one area, we can still handle it. So welcome to Mesa Morning Live. I'm guessing this is your first time?
Yes, it is.
And I'm guessing the way things are going, probably the last.
Well, I don't know. I may want that burrito.
I know where those came from. I can hook a man up. Well, thanks for being here. Wow, talk a little bit about Wells Fargo and the $200,000 grant.
Well, Wells Fargo has been incredible to us. We have banked with them for a number of years, and they have been tremendously supportive. They a major sponsor of our gala event, the Camaraderie. This $200,000 for La Mesita. They've just been, and Rhonda said it right, even though they're a huge bank, they're a community bank in the sense that they help those in the community. We've been very fortunate and very blessed, and we're proud to call them our friends.
That's great. Tell us a little bit about yourself, your background, where you're from, and tell us also importantly about A New Leaf.
Well, I'm one of those lucky people that have been in Mesa since 1975, and I'm very fortunate, very proud to say I've been at A New Leaf for 38 years. Yeah. So I didn't have hair back then either, but I'm very proud to say we're a very large organization. We have about 22 different programs, and we do a lot of really wonderful things in the community. This community, all of you have been so incredibly supportive to A New Leaf. For the old timers, when I look, and I say this positively, affectionately, Susan, but we used to be called in the old days Prehab of Arizona. And then we changed our name about 7 years ago. And we changed it to A New Leaf because we realized of the 19,000 plus people we helped last year, one theme that was common, they were all looking to turn over a new leaf. So we have domestic violence shelters. We have the family shelter called La Mesita. We have, like I say, Autumn House. We have La Mesita, Rhonda mentioned, and we're very proud of that. That's right up the street, and it's 80 units of affordable supportive housing. We have outpatient counseling centers. We even have, I don't think a lot of people know this, but out in Surprise, we have a bingo operation. And it's on, I know, it's, it's 10 acres of land, and that came with us from an agency that merged with us about 15 years ago. And incredibly, we raised about $300,000 a year to use for our programs. We have the East Valley Men's Center, which is a shelter for 94 men. So like I say, we have about 22 programs. We helped about 20,000 people last year. We have a tremendous amount of volunteers. We have a great board of directors, and we're one of those agencies that are just really, really blessed with a community like Mesa that does so much for us. It's unbelievable, Mark.
That's great. Well, now you mentioned 20,000 people that you serve. Give us a kind of an overview of who might fall into that category. What?
Well, in a nutshell, it's really those less fortunate. And what I mean by that is, you think 94 men at the Men's Center, and they can stay up to 3 months. You have 300 women and children that are at Autumn House. We have probably 6,000 people that we help through the hotline. We have a domestic violence shelter in Glendale called Faith House that has 85 women. Anytime they can be up with their children, there can be up to 200 people there. Wow. So it's it just goes on, and it's really helping, again, the people that just need a break. They need a chance. So we're able to do that. We do a lot, looking back in the audience, Jared Langkildy, and we have a great program called Fast Tracking the Dream, where we have 300-400 students where they can come and get education, and if they save up to $1,000, we'll match it and give them $3,000. And that's our attempt to really, one of the things you have to have in life, you can take your house, you can take your job, but you can't take someone's education. And if you have an education, you have a much better chance of succeeding. So we're really involved in a lot of these things.
That's great. Well, you mentioned Jared, and boy, there's no group of people that have that gives back more than this. If somebody wants to volunteer, what do they do?
Well, they can call us. Where's Linda? Linda Haskell. She said she'd be in the audience supporting me. She's hiding, you know. You can call Linda and she'll hook you up. And she's our director over at the East Valley Men's Center. We have a full-fledged volunteer program. And we have many, many. I'll give you a quick example, if I may.
Oh, absolutely.
At our men's center, and you can imagine this, 94 men is a lot of people to feed. If you can believe this, every night of the year, we have either a church group or an organization that comes in and feeds the men. We do not really have a food budget, and that's all year round, every night of the year. So you could call us. We have information in the back on one of the booths, and it's all right there.
Well, you've been doing this a long time. I'm sure you've got a lot of success stories. Mm-hmm. Could you share maybe one or two of those with us? You don't have to mention names, but just someone you've really been able to help them turn their life around.
Well, just the other day, we had a board meeting, and two people came in, and we highlighted them through the IDA, individual development accounts, and a woman was able to buy a house for the first time, had gone through an incredibly painful divorce, and really was down and out, and we're able to turn her life around. The young man was able to go on and working on his college degree. We have a person that was at the East Valley Men's Center and became a chef, and that was exciting, especially listening to your previous guest. So it goes on and on, Mark, in terms of the people we're able to help.
Oh, that's great. Well, you know, everybody can do a little thing, and when you add that up, it turns into something big. So we appreciate that. Little fun factoid about you. Okay. You're an identical twin.
Yes, I am. There's two of us.
Well, here's my concern. How do I know I'm interviewing you right now?
Actually, you don't. You know.
Is your brother here in the Valley also?
He's actually in Florida.
Oh, well, is that the government makes sure you're not in one place? That's yes. A good move.
But it is true. Twins have a special relationship. Sometimes I can tell when the phone rings, and I'll say to my wife, I don't feel like talking right now to him. Just, you know, and it's him.
Well, it's not a big deal. We all have caller ID on our phones. Yeah. Come on. Come on.
Did I walk right into that? That is bad.
It's not that you're clairvoyant.
Right. Oh, I thought I was going to get through this.
No, that's awesome. That's great. Well, we especially this time of year, I think everybody really focuses on Thanksgiving and Christmas, about being grateful and giving back and stuff like that. But I'm sure you would remind us that this is a 365-day-a-year yes. proposition. So people are hungry in the middle of the summer, too. Right. So we appreciate all that you do. Let's challenge some of the folks that are not only in the audience but sitting at home. Talk about this. Okay, let's challenge them to volunteer. I think we've got a slide that I've been, oh yeah, see, here we go. I can hardly see the screen because of this beautiful backdrop that we have.
That's true. Well, let me,
talk about
if I may, an example, Richard Thompson, Valley Express Towing, and he's in the audience.
There he is.
And this is a prime example of somebody and a company that gives back. And this is so incredible because it was the day before Thanksgiving. And Richard and his company donated to a new leaf 2 wonderful vans. And one of the vans was given, we had an essay contest to the veterans that are at our homeless shelter. And they had a contest, and it was, what would a transportation mean? What could it do to help turn your life around? And the long and short of it is we selected an individual, and Richard was there with his wife, and Valley Express Towing gave this individual a van for him to have transportation. Yeah, and and you know, the Chamber of Commerce helped set this up, Sally. I mean, this is an example of how many friends we have. And you know, we sit here and we sometimes think that, like, how much of a difference does this make? And for the people that were there that day, to see that man, to see that individual get in the van, turn the ignition on, and start to tear up, and say how much this is going to change his life. We owe Richard and his company, so much thanks, because he made a big difference in a person's life. That is what truly giving thanks, Thanksgiving, was all about.
That's awesome. Well put. And Richard's awesome, and he was embarrassed by that. He was kind of slinking down. That's the kind of guy he is. The room's full of those kind of people. Yes. So congratulations for all the great things you're doing in the community, and keep it up for how many years you've been there? Since 70 what? 75?
38 years.
Well, here's to another 38 for you.
Okay.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir.
Big round of applause, please, Mr. Michael Hughes.